Good evening, I'm Alessio, and thank you for joining this report on a growing threat in finance and technology, one that demands our attention both as investors and as citizens. Right now we're seeing evidence that cash-to-crypto kiosks, long considered a convenient access point to the digital asset world, are increasingly being exploited by scammers, and the consequences are deeply troubling. In the District of Columbia, the Office of Attorney General Brian Schwalb has filed suit against Athena Bitcoin Incorporated, one of the largest operators of Bitcoin ATMs. The allegations are stark. The company is accused of knowing that 93% of deposits at its machines in the district were the result of fraud, and that it profited by charging undisclosed transaction fees as high as 26% while failing to implement an adequate anti-fraud program. CBS News: one victim, age 71, lost a total of US $98,000 after 19 separate transactions. Office of Attorney General: what we see is an infrastructure that parallels old-fashioned bank fraud, but with a new vehicle, crypto kiosks. Across the U.S., law enforcement agencies are sounding the alarm. In Michigan's northern region, the Michigan State Police found that victims had deposited six-figure sums of cash into Bitcoin machines under directions from scammers posing as banks, government officials, or technical support. WPBN: the losses in Michigan went from about US $60 million in 2020 to more than US $204 million in 2024, a jump of 240%. WPBN: it is a clear indicator that this is not niche, it's a systemic vulnerability. And in Nevada we see another facet of the problem: a regulatory and oversight gap. A local news investigation found discrepancies in the number of crypto ATMs reported by operators versus the number officially licensed by the Nevada Financial Institutions Division. The independent tracker, Coin ATM Radar, showed nearly 500 machines statewide, while official records listed 428. KSNV: what's more, Nevada does not require crypto kiosk operators to post explicit warning labels or anti-fraud advisories on their machines. KSNV: what this tells us is that the infrastructure enabling these scams is proliferating while oversight lags. Putting these threads together, the picture is clear. Crypto ATMs are becoming one of the preferred tools for fraudsters. They offer alluring advantages for scammers. Cash deposits are fast, transfers to digital wallets are nearly irreversible, and victims often receive urgent, fear-based instructions that bypass standard banking safeguards. As one report noted, criminals now use these kiosks as the #1 preferred method for financial exploitation. ABC News: vulnerable groups, older adults, less tech-savvy individuals, are at heightened risk, particularly when the scammers claim the victim must act quickly, pretend to be law enforcement, or hide the transaction under threat of arrest. ABC 7 New York: meanwhile, the operators of the machines, in at least one case, are being accused of insufficiently curbing misuse, charging high fees, and profiting from the frenzy of fraud. For investors and creators alike, the implications are multifold. First, from a regulatory risk standpoint, this is a flashpoint. As Minnesota cities are already moving to ban or tightly regulate crypto ATMs because they have become predatory, we can anticipate heightened oversight, litigation risk, and potential business model disruption for kiosk operators and crypto infrastructure firms. Axios: second, from a market perspective, this trend underscores that not all innovation is benign. The intersection of finance and technology brings both opportunity and risk, and the reputational damage of widespread fraud could harm the broader crypto ecosystem. Finally, from a consumer protection lens, studios, creators, YouTubers like myself and you, and financial education platforms have a role. We must alert audiences that just because something is crypto does not exempt it from the rules of caution, due diligence, and informed decision-making. In my view, this story is a warning beacon. The rapid rise of kiosks and machines designed for convenience has created a backdoor for criminals. It is not enough to focus on coin prices, blockchain transactions, or investment returns. That only addresses half the field. The other half is the ecosystem around access, usability, trust, and safety. If we fail to cover that, the next wave of regulatory crackdowns will not only disrupt service providers but will also reverberate across platforms, educational content channels, influencer ecosystems, and consumer trust. So what should we keep an eye on going forward? Watch for lawsuits like the one in D.C., any regulatory moves at state or municipal level that target crypto kiosks, shifts in consumer loss data reported by the Federal Trade Commission or similar agencies, and finally how crypto industry participants respond, whether they adopt better safeguards or whether they resist change and face legal or reputational consequences. Thank you for listening. I'm Alessio, and that was your late-day check on a troubling yet critical development at the intersection of business, finance, and technology. Stay alert, stay informed, and remember, the most innovative route is rarely the safest one without oversight.